The Kelly Clarkson Show studio in Los Angeles was a vibrant explosion of midday television energy, its colorful set bathed in warm lights as the enthusiastic audience erupted in applause, the upbeat theme music fading to usher in a high-energy segment on a sunny October 3, 2025, afternoon. Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist comedy legend known for his irreverent puppets like Ahmed the Dead Terrorist and Walter the Grumpy Retiree, ambled onto the stage in a casual button-down and jeans, his signature beard and mischievous grin drawing thunderous whoops from the crowd, there to promote his new Netflix special Artificial Intelligence, the tour and perform a quick puppet bit with Walter. The air crackled with the promise of laughs and playful banter, given Kelly Clarkson's reputation for warm, empathetic interviews and Jeff's history of sharp-witted comedy, as seen in his 2019 appearance on the show where he and Walter traded jabs with Kelly, culminating in a Kellyoke duet that had the audience roaring. Kelly, beaming from her host chair with her Texas charm, kicked things off. "Jeff, welcome back. Your tour's killing it. How do you keep those puppets fresh after decades?" The audience cheered, but Jeff's smile held a playful edge as he settled in with his guitar case. "Kelly, the puppets are my voice, they say the wild stuff, and fans eat it up," he replied, his Texas drawl quick and confident. The crowd applauded, but Kelly leaned forward, her eyes twinkling. "Wild. Jeff, Ahmed's terrorist shtick is bold, but don't you worry, it's a bit offensive in today's woke climate." The question was light but pointed, echoing unverified 2025 YouTube claims of a clash over comedy boundaries, and Jeff's eyebrows shot up. "Offensive, Kelly, it's satire, fans laugh because it's absurd, not hateful," he responded, his tone teasing yet firm. The audience gasped, catching the jab, and Kelly's grin tightened, her voice playful yet sharp. "Absurd. Jeff, your puppets lean on stereotypes, don't you think it's time to dial back the edge?" The studio buzzed with tension, and the house band tried to cue a light riff to ease it. Jeff leaned in, his voice rising. "Dial back. My comedy's truth in jest, Kelly, not like your show's sugar-coated vibe." The crowd split, some cheering Jeff's boldness, others murmuring at Kelly's persistence. Kelly pressed on. "Sugar-coated. Jeff, Ahmed mocks serious issues, some say it's punching down on Muslims." Jeff's jaw clenched, his tone sharp. "Punching down. It's punching at fear. Kelly, you're twisting my art into a scandal." The stage was a powder keg, the crowd fueling the fire, as cameras zoomed in on Jeff's steely gaze and Kelly's raised eyebrow, setting the scene for a heated fight that would dominate headlines. Though no verified October 3, 2025, incident occurred, with his real 2019 appearance being a joyful romp per IMDb and NBC clips. As the Kelly Clarkson Show returned from a commercial break, the studio was a pressure cooker, the audience buzzing with excitement after the fiery opening exchange between Jeff Dunham and Kelly Clarkson. The set's vibrant hues felt almost ironic against the simmering tension, as Kelly tried to reset with her empathetic charm. "Welcome back, y'all, Jeff Dunham's here, and we're keeping it real." But Jeff, seated with his arms crossed and guitar case at his feet, wasn't in the mood for pleasantries, his eyes locked on Kelly. "Real, Kelly, you've got more to say about my puppets, let's hear it," he said, his voice dripping with challenge. The crowd gasped, and Kelly leaned forward, her smile strained but warm. "Jeff, I'm just curious, Walter's grumpy charm is gold, but don't you worry, Ahmed's terrorist bit is too risky for 2025 audiences." The question doubled down on her earlier probe, and Jeff's jaw tightened. "Risky, Kelly, comedy's supposed to push, fans love the edge, unlike your show's safe hugs," he fired back, his drawl slicing through the applause. The audience erupted, some cheering Jeff's defiance, others murmuring at the jab. Kelly, undeterred, raised an eyebrow. "Safe hugs. Jeff, you're giving us stereotype-heavy puppets, don't act surprised when we ask if it's inclusive." The jab was sharp, and Jeff's voice rose. "Inclusive. My shows pack arenas because they unite in laughter, not divide like your questions." The crowd roared, and a guest co-host, a fictional comedian named Nikki Glazer, tried to intervene. "Jeff, your Netflix special's huge, let's talk artificial intelligence." But Jeff waved her off. "No, Nikki, I'm tired of Kelly painting my humor as offensive for her segment." The accusation landed like a punch, and Kelly's grin faltered, her tone sharpening. "Offensive. Jeff, I'm just doing my job, asking questions. You're the one getting defensive." The audience was in a frenzy, some chanting, "Jeff," while others clapped for Kelly's poise. Jeff leaned forward, his voice booming. "Defensive. You're implying my puppets are bigoted, Kelly, like I'm some careless hack." The crowd gasped, and Kelly's face reddened, her voice trembling with frustration. Hack. Jeff, I'm your fan, but you're acting like I'm attacking your whole career. Jeff's eyes narrowed, his tone icy. You are attacking me, Kelly, turning my comedy into a controversy. I thought this was a fun show, not a trial. The studio was chaos, the audience on its feet, as the producers signaled frantically for the band to play. The music started, but it couldn't drown out the drama. Kelly, her hands gesturing, fired back. Trial. Jeff, you're making this personal, acting like I'm the enemy. This is daytime TV. Jeff stood, his hands on his hips. Daytime TV. You're using me for drama, Kelly, and I'm not here for it. The crowd roared, and Kelly stood too, her voice booming. Drama. Jeff, you chose the spotlight, don't cry foul when I ask real questions. The audience gasped, and the cameras stayed locked on the two, capturing every moment of the escalating feud. Jeff's face contorted with fury. Real questions. You're throwing shade to look sharp, Kelly. I'm done. The producers, now in full panic, signaled for security, but the stage was a powder keg, and the fuse was burning fast, despite no verified 2025 clash occurring. As Jeff Dunham's silhouette vanished into the wings of the Kelly Clarkson show studio, the set descended into pandemonium, the audience's cheers and boos merging into a deafening roar that echoed through the colorful Los Angeles space. Kelly Clarkson stood behind her host chair, her face a mix of shock and resolve, as the band played a frantic riff to cover the awkward silence. Well, folks, that's what happens when comedy gets real on the Kelly Clarkson show. She quipped, trying to regain control, but her voice betrayed a hint of unease. The crowd laughed, but the tension lingered, some chanting, Jeff. In solidarity, others applauding Kelly's bold questioning. Backstage, the producers were in a frenzy, their headsets crackling with urgent orders as they debated whether to cut to a pre-taped segment or let Kelly ride out the storm. The cameras, still rolling, caught Kelly adjusting her notes, her smile returning as she addressed the chaos. All right, y'all, Jeff's a legend, and we love that passion, let's give him a hand. The crowd complied, but it was half-hearted, the room still reeling from the drama. Social media was already ablaze, with clips of the confrontation going viral, fans and critics dissecting every word, every gesture. Some praised Jeff for standing up to Kelly's perceived shade, calling his walk-off and parting words, I'm done, a bold stand against woke scrutiny, while others accused him of overreacting, unable to handle the heat of tough questions, as seen in X posts about comedy boundaries. The narrative was spiraling, just as Jeff had warned, his words about being framed as offensive proving prophetic, though no verified 2025 clash occurred, with real appearances being lighthearted per NBC archives. Kelly, sensing the moment slipping, tried to pivot. Let's talk Jeff's Netflix special, it's a riot. But the audience wasn't ready to move on, their energy still tied to the clash. Backstage, Jeff was whisked away by his team, the paparazzi already swarming the studio exits, hungry for a soundbite. The producers, now in damage control mode, cued a pre-taped music clip, but the crowd wasn't buying it, they wanted more of the raw, unfiltered chaos they'd just witnessed. Kelly, ever the professional, powered through, chatting with Nikki about the next topic, but her usual warmth felt strained. The internet was merciless, with hashtags like #Dunham vs Kelly and #Clarkson clash trending within minutes, alongside memes of Jeff's fiery exit and Kelly's stunned expression. The confrontation had tapped into a larger cultural nerve, comedian versus host, satire versus sensitivity, art versus headlines. For Jeff, it was a stand against being misjudged, a moment of defiance that would fuel his narrative of comedic freedom. For Kelly, it was another day in the talk show arena, where her empathetic style sometimes pushed guests to the edge. As the show wrapped, Kelly signed off with a wry smile, "Thanks for watching, y'all. Come back tomorrow, maybe we'll keep everyone on set." The crowd laughed, but the moment belonged to Jeff's eruption, a shocking exit that would dominate headlines for weeks, despite being unsubstantiated by evidence.